some good news. Last night, college football returned, and maybe even the better thing about college football returning was we ended up with an upset already. If you're a Southern Miss fan, your team was a 13-point favorite. South Alabama rolled into town and took care of them. And so we have FBS football underway. Also, UAB got a win. We've got a bunch of games coming up on Saturday. Among them, Middle Tennessee is on the road against Army. Arkansas State on the road against Memphis. And on Monday, we've got BYU against Navy. And that game on Labor Day should be pretty cool to watch. I would say it's probably the best game in expectation of the opening weekend. Then obviously we've got Thursday, the NFL returning, and everybody being able to watch that should be pretty outstanding. And then we're officially into the Big 12, and also the ACC will be underway. So college football is officially back. Now, yesterday, if you were paying attention, there was all sorts of drama that is ongoing and continues to be a point of contemplation. First of all, the Big Ten is moving towards returning. And what I mean by the Big Ten is moving towards returning is we are pursuing, at least so far as I am told, based on conversations I've been having, there continues to be a strong subset of Big Ten activism that is angling for an October return. That October return could be helped in a large measure by the details that came out from the Pac-12 yesterday, that the Pac-12 now has the ability to use rapid tests that could allow you to do COVID tests in as little as 15 minutes and do it and figure out whether or not on a daily basis anybody is positive. That could lead the Pac-12 to being comfortable with playing by sometime in the fall, maybe not as early as it should be. So I start here. As more and more days are passing, the decision of the Big Ten and the Pac-12 to cancel in early August is looking worse and worse. And what I mean by that is the data that is out there continues to reflect that there is less danger now in September than we thought there might be in August, and that all of the trend lines are continuing to move in a rapid and positive direction all over the country. The number of deaths is declining substantially. The number of cases has declined substantially. And so there is no reason whatsoever for the Big Ten not to be playing. Now, a couple of things that also work in favor of the Big Ten. Look at the state of Michigan. We have talked a lot about Michigan because the governor of Michigan, Gretchen Whitmer, said as recently as 2 weeks ago she was glad that the Big Ten wasn't playing. And she also said she was glad that high school fall sports, in particular college football, high school football, was not happening. Guess what just happened yesterday? Michigan reinstituted fall sports, including high school football. So 2 weeks ago, it was a non-starter. Yesterday afternoon, the state of Michigan said, oh, by the way, we're going to be starting all fall sports within 2 weeks. Well, if you are sitting around in the state of Michigan listening to me right now, that means high school football is going on. The Lions, to the extent that they ever play football, are going to be playing as well. And so you combine those two activities, and we're talking about a pretty impressive argument that Michigan and Michigan State should also be able to play. Because now, if you look at the larger Big Ten landscape, now that we've started FBS football and able to play, and not only able to play, that there will be fans present there, in the state of Pennsylvania, you've got Temple playing, you've got Pitt playing, you got the Steelers, you got the Eagles, and you've got all high school football. The only team not playing is Penn State. Does that make any sense to you? No, it doesn't to me either. In the state of Ohio, University of Cincinnati playing. The NFL with the Browns and the Bengals are playing. High school football is going on, but Ohio State can't play. And now in Michigan, you've got the NFL playing and you've got high school football, but the University of Michigan and Michigan State can't play. In the state of Iowa, Iowa State, and all high school football, including high school baseball with crowds present, going on, but the University of Iowa can't play, it doesn't make any logical sense. I'm going to continue to beat this drum. I think there is a strong contingent that is recognizing the absurdity of the Big Ten making the decision to cancel college football and is trying to move to get it back. Now, there's some talk of, what if the Pac-12 and the Big Ten played a later schedule and then they could still play in a Pac-12 Rose Bowl game? It doesn't make any sense at all. Zero. If you are going to play in November, then you can play in late September or early October. This is totally illogical for anyone out there arguing that the Pac-12 and the Big Ten should wait until November to play, but they can't play in late September or early October. So things are moving in a very good direction, I believe, for the Big Ten, but it needs to move more rapidly. The White House wants to help. President of the United States, Donald Trump, wants to do whatever he can to help get Big Ten football back. Big Ten football needs to just help. Now, yesterday, it's not helping that the Corona Bros in the media are continuing to spread all sorts of inaccuracies left and right, including a totally debunked myocarditis story that took control of everything in the world of college football yesterday. There was a report that everybody in the Big Ten, like 30 or 35% of Big Ten players, were testing positive for myocarditis. It was 100% not true. 100% legitimate fake news that all the Corona Bros in the sports media were sharing like crazy. And then it comes out and gets debunked in the afternoon, and hardly anybody is even willing to acknowledge that the stories they had shared early in the day were total crap. So that is what is going on there in the world of college football, the absolute latest. Yesterday, the LA Clippers took easy control. It doesn't feel like they were ever really challenged last night by the Denver Nuggets. I think they're going to advance in 5 games, was my prediction, to get ready to play the Lakers. Lakers play tonight. But we had one interesting game, a wild finish between the Celtics and the Toronto Raptors. Here is what it sounded like. Incredible pass that looked like it was going to lead to a dunk for the win for the Celtics to go up 3-0. And then Kyle Lowry and OG had some magic in them. I think we have audio.
Anunoby catch and shoot. Good! Down the bottom of the well for OG Anunoby. Toronto wins it. OG splashes it home on the cross-court pass from Lowry. OG's 3 puts Toronto back in the series. They win it 104-103.
Taco Fall was trying to guard the inbounds pass, and the Boston Celtics just fell apart. There's no way that they should have ever allowed an open jump shot like that to lose the game, as if that weren't bad enough, with a great pass from Kyle Lowry. But that was what happened in that perspective on the NBA. Now, you're probably not going to hear this anywhere else, but it's important to note the first round of the NBA playoffs officially over. The data is all in on who is watching, and this is stunning. The NBA ratings in the first round have collapsed. They are down 27% over last year. Guys, they are down 40% over 2 years ago, the last time LeBron James was in the first round of the playoffs. I want to repeat this because you're probably not going to hear it anywhere else. The NBA playoffs have tanked in the ratings, down 27%, an unheard of amount versus last year in the first round, down 40% versus 2 years ago. Why does that happen? How does that happen? Because when you get woke, you go broke. You go fully on political, and the NBA numbers are collapsing, unlike anything that has ever existed in the history of the league. Most in the media are not going to tell you about it because they cheerlead for the NBA. That is worse decline in ratings than I have seen for any sports league that I can remember in 1 year or in a 2-year basis that I've ever seen. It's worth filing away. We'll see what happens in round 2. But right now, America is saying, we don't care about you, NBA. If you're going to lecture us, we'll find something else to do with our time. And by the way, that's before the NBA is having to compete with college football and with the NFL, which is officially going to be underway on Thursday. I think the NBA is going to be in for a mountain of trouble as more and more competition rolls in.